Marco Nessi.
Here.
Jason Crumpet.
Not in the obituaries, thankfully, so I'm here.
Clifford Scott. William Ross.
Here.
Mark Berube.
Here.
Ryan Mahoney.
Here.
Ann McCaffrey.
Here.
David Massey.
Here.
And William Fenty.
Great, thank you. Introduction, guests, Jeremy, you want to start?
Jeremy Gertz, agency staff.
Mike Dudley, agency staff.
Carrie Russo, agency staff.
Mark Gabriel, agency counsel.
Sue Baroon, agency staff. Cindy Winter, Live USA.
Tom Szymanowski, Live USA.
Rob Green, Niagara County.
Jonathan Epstein, Buffalo News. Guy Fulsetti, District Council for years.
Tom Zavatsky, Hotel Niagara.
And Bradley Hotel.
John Reseau, UC Niagara Development Board.
Thank you. So we can stand for the
We'll
pledge.
later on.
Jacob Tierney, Buffalo Business First. Apologies for being late.
Okay. If we stand for the pledge.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Right, Mr. Ross.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to request a motion for the approval of the minutes of the May 8th, 2024 meeting. Do I have a motion? I have a motion. Mr. Kempa, do I have a second? And I have a second by Mr. Baruch. Take a minute or so to take a look at it. If there's any deletions or additions, we can add them on. Got enough time? All for approval? Opposed? Mr. Chairman, unanimous.
Thank you. 6.0 finance and audit committee.
Earlier this morning, the finance and audit committee met, and approved both the agency payables as well as the budget variance reports. Committee found everything to be in order, and I would suggest that I would move to accept them as presented.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 6 here, the meeting is
No, fine.
Did you do the variance report as well?
We can move, I will move that as well. That's okay, I follow.
Mr. Caffrey? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. All right. 7.1. Military Road.
May 21st, a public hearing was held for 2429 Military Road LLC at the Town of Niagara Town Hall. There were no attendees and no comments.
Are there any questions? Any comments? I need a motion to go forward.
So moved.
Mr. Ross. Second. Massey. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? I need a roll call vote for this.
William Ross.
Aye.
Jason Crumpet.
Yes.
Clifford Scott.
Yes.
Mark Berube.
Yes.
Ryan Mahoney.
Yes.
Ann McCaffrey.
Yes.
David Massey.
Yes.
Marco Nessi.
Yes. Okay, 7.2 MGA construction.
Sure. On June 5th of this year, a public hearing was held for MGA Construction LLC right here in the NCIDA offices. Again, no attendees, no comments were.
If I might, Mr. Chairman, real quick, this is the second time you've seen this, if just in case it looks familiar to you. It was approved last month. However, when putting the final resolution package together, the staff noticed that the newspaper of which we were publishing the public notice failed to publish the public notice. They were very apologetic about it, but it also cost us an additional 30 days to do this, so we did republish it. And the requisite time has passed, and now it is up for final approval right now.
Thank you. Comments? Need a motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? I need a roll call for that.
William Ross,
Yes.
Jason Kempa,
Yes.
Clifford Scott,
Yes.
Mark Ruby,
Yes.
Ryan Mahoney,
Yes.
Lynn McCaffrey,
Yes.
David Massey,
Yes.
Mark Nessie.
Yes. New business 8.0, 8.1, Live USA Incorporated.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Live USA Incorporated intends to renovate the vacant 80-room Howard Johnson in Niagara Falls. The renovation will include a music venue, a celebrity-endorsed restaurant and bar, and the theme of the hotel is an immersive rock and roll experience to include themed rooms and floors. This will be a total project cost of $16 million, which will create 42 jobs over the next 3 years, with an estimated annual payroll of $1.8 million a year.
No question?
How's the project coming along?
Well, right now, we are in, digging right now for the balloon. That's gonna come before the project actually starts. We'll have the hot air balloon out in front of it.
I signed it for me yesterday.
Vision, good, thank you.
Are there any construction delays?
We were, was it about a week
Yeah,
because of
very
the
minor.
rebar. We
Yeah.
couldn't get the rebar in. I guess they had a shortage of that, but that should be in by Friday, so, I think the construction will be going and we're gonna, I think our plan now is for the middle of
Early
July.
July. Yeah, early July.
for the balloon, and then after that gets launched, we're gonna start, construction on the hotel itself.
Can you just talk for 30 seconds on the balloon? So everybody in the room knows the project for the balloon?
Yeah.
So
It's
it's
exciting.
tethered hot air balloon, about 10 stories tall. It's connected with the tether to the ground. It rises anywhere from 200 to 500 feet in the air, carrying anywhere up to 30 guests at a time. And you're in the air for about 15 minutes. It's very similar to the one at Disney Springs. We're very excited for the attraction in the falls.
And it's helium filled.
Helium filled. That is
You
correct.
remember that,
Yeah.
because the other one was not helium.
Yes.
You know, it's nice to renovate this Howard Johnson's great location. But what's nice about it, you got a couple of attractions going, and we are an attraction starved city. Got a great aquarium, but we're kind of need attractions, so I commend you.
Thank you.
Full speed ahead on that.
We're very excited.
We're excited by the balloon, and then we're gonna be very excited by the hotel, because it's gonna bring in, we don't have any hotels like that here, which is, we're gonna have concerts there.
That's what I mean, it's an attraction.
We're gonna be bringing, and it's gonna be a destination, and that's what we're very excited about.
And an awesome restaurant.
Yeah, awesome restaurant.
I was gonna say, can you just provide a little color on the concept and then kind of like where you guys got the idea from, or is this something that's been done someplace prior?
Our owner is just a very creative person. I'm sure Michael DiCienzo is the mastermind behind this, and he just gets these ideas and he thought this would be just great. He got into a couple of partnerships recently, like with David Foster. He's now partnering him with his charity, so David Foster is going to be coming for a concert here once we get the venue going. He's partnering right now with Ethan Sutherland because he also has a band outside of also having a whiskey company. So once we get the restaurant, we're only going to be using his whiskey and Dan Aykroyd's Crystal Head Vodka. He's partnering with all his people that he's met through his ownership of the JW Marriott in Muskoka, Canada. So he's buying, like, each room is going to be individual. You're going to have one Rolling Stones room, you're going to have a Billy Joel room, so on and so forth, to hit different genres, country music genre, rock and roll, crooners like Metro Blue Play, there's gonna be rooms for that, so every floor is gonna be a different genre, every room's gonna be musical star, and then our venue, we're gonna have karaoke in there. We're also gonna have music. We're gonna have live concerts for probably it's gonna be 400 people. Our venue's gonna have like 400 people, so we're gonna have concerts there. We've already got Stephen Page from Very Makeup Lady. He's going to be at our opening when we do open. So we've got a lot of good connections here, and it's a great concept.
Is the concert venue indoor, outdoor?
It's going to be indoor.
Indoor.
I think we've been talking with the state because they're building an amphitheater out there. We're going to be indoor to ground. It's going to be kind of, because we're building it right here in the background, which is going to be live. So it's going to be good for the city. This half of both things.
Sounds pretty cool. Thank you. Any other questions?
What's your estimated open date?
For the hotel, we're hoping to be open by June of next year. That's what we're hoping for.
All right, I need a motion for the preliminary resolution.
Okay.
Jennifer,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? I need a roll call vote.
William Ross,
Aye.
Jason Crepa,
Yes.
Clifford Stat,
Yes.
Mark Rudy,
Yes.
Ryan Mahoney,
Yes.
Ed McCaffrey.
Yes.
David Massey,
Yes.
and Marco Nessie.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, just for informational purposes, this project as well as the next will be handled through one of the exceptions because part of it could be deemed a hotel or potential retail use.
Okay.
They're both going to be located in highly distressed areas as defined by general municipal law. So there will be a finding in the final resolution that it meets that criteria at that time.
All right. Thank you.
Welcome.
All right. The public hearing is June 25th at 2 o'clock at Niagara Falls City Hall. I need a motion. Mr. Crumpler,
Second.
Mr. Ross, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Great. Hotel Niagara Development, LLC. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Hotel Niagara, located at 201 Rainbow Boulevard. A lot of people may recall USA Niagara Development Corporation, a subsidiary of Empire State Development, acquired the property in 2016 and issued an RFP for the developers, for a developer, selected the preferred developer. Since then, there's been some working through financing issues. So before you today, the developer has submitted an application to redevelop the hotel into an upscale, full-service hotel, maintaining its historic characteristics. The hotel will have 160 guest rooms, a main ballroom, second ballroom, full-service restaurant, a lounge, a rooftop lounge, private meeting facility, and dining facilities. With us here today, we have Ed Riley, the developer, Tom Sawatsky, and John Rizzio from USA Niagara.
Would you like to give us a little overview?
Good morning. This is a little bit of a rehash. We were here a few years ago and had our capital stack done and ready to go in a little month called March of 2020. We all know what happened then. So since that time, we've been working through getting the refinancing put back together after the pandemic, re-engaging our consultants, et cetera. Just as a reminder, when we were here initially, we had received both the Part 1 and Part 2 approval for the historic restoration of the building, so that's been completed. We've been through all the zoning criteria within the city of Niagara Falls. We actually had submitted drawings to the building department in Niagara Falls for a building permit. That's how far along we were with the project. We had a Marriott tribute portfolio hotel commitment, which we are still talking to them about that, but we also want to talk to Hilton and Hyatt since things change. We just want to go through. But I do have I currently own and I'm the manager of the Marriott in downtown Syracuse, the Hotel Syracuse project. So, I have a standing relationship with them. I like what what they do, they like what we do. And we're looking at running this as a 4-diamond hotel, basically very similar to what we have done in Syracuse, restoring the ballrooms, restoring all the public spaces to what they originally were, and the splendor with those, along with an entirely new room product. So once you put your key in the door and go in, it'll be a brand new room, just like you go anywhere else with it. A restaurant on the first floor, a sports bar would be one restaurant, probably 2 seatings a day. Sometimes of the year, we probably do 3rd seating. During season, we would have a formal restaurant that would be basically in the lower ballroom or off of the lobby, if you remember the old plan of that. That would be your 3-meal restaurant in season, probably 2 meals or 1, depending on what happens, but also used as a secondary ballroom. I see the catering business as being very strong within that. For instance, in Syracuse right now, average for a hotel of our type, we do about 20 weddings a year. We do over 120 a year. So it drives a tremendous amount of business, having a historic character and the quality of that in there. We also would have a rooftop area when going through our approvals with the Part 2 with both the Interior Department and SHPO. We were successful to do minor expansions on either side of the very prominent penthouse that's up there. It is served by an elevator. They already did that. And we would put those additions on and then activate the roof. Initially, it would be open air. That's what we have to do for SHPO and for the Interior Department. But once that 5.5-year-old period burns off, we would most likely close it so it's a year-round venue. It does have some really excellent views, obviously, of the American and Canadian design from where we are. We will be negotiating, and we're in the process right now negotiating parking. We'll have valet parking most of the time in season, probably self-parking after that. And we're also have talked extensively with Niagara University and their hospitality school to integrate the hotel with them so we can get some of their students in their hospitality program down, do some tenure with us, learn the business, and that also helps us with training and recruiting for people in the future. So I don't know if there's any other questions you may have.
Yeah, I got several questions. Hotel Niagara is very dear to my heart. The senior prom was there in 1951. My mother and father had me chaperone. Kind of could have quieted my life that night. But what I wanted to bring up, the Hotel Syracuse was a great project. I was there before it was renovated. I was there after. I think I was there when McPherson was up in the penthouse, if you remember. McPherson was a former Syracuse University, or even had a museum down on the first floor, if I remember. And I went after, and I don't know if you gentlemen were connected directly to that. I can't remember back in 2020. Did a great job. You renovated that, and you made it a jewel, really, of an old building. Now, if this can be done to Hotel Niagara that was constructed in 24, open in 25, it does have a lot of amenities that would be attractive to the public. That ballroom still, even before renovations, is a beautiful ballroom, let me tell you. And it's very dear to Niagara Falls from the standpoint, the United Building was brought back by Palladino. You bring this one back, another piece of our early history. And the other thing was Jefferson Apartments, where they built. But anyway, you did great in Syracuse. You can do the same thing here in Niagara. Now, I will bring up that I met Harry Stimson in 2012. Okay. Enough said, because he told me what he was going to do, and you know what happened in 2016. I don't have to go through the history there. But good luck on it. I think it's a great project. And by the way, I want to put in for the presidential suite when it opens, from the standpoint it's on my bucket list. Don't take too long on the renovation, because when you're in your diamonds, my friend, I don't know how many golden days I have left. Good luck.
Well, we're actually, just to build on what you said, we actually branded and built on that to bring the community back into the hotel. Part of the success of the hotel, the Marriott Syracuse, has been the community coming back in, supporting it. You know, not just one at a time, but bringing back in, you know, all of the various nonprofits, the galas, the events, the meetings, things that used to happen there all the time, and bring those back in. And that's what really makes these hotels, these older hotels, successful. They're branded on themselves. It'll always have the name, Hotel Niagara with it. It'll be part of the tribute collection, is where it is a little different than in Syracuse when I had to rename the hotel. But the thing is, it's part of the community. It has those memories, and they're real memories. You're not, as I tell people, they're not Disney. They're real. And, people can see that, and they can see who's walked through that building. And we'll be telling that story. That's part of how we want to market it, is tell the story about the hotel. What are some of the people that went through it? What are some of the things that happened there? And that interests people, and they like to get involved.
History I like. And you did address the parking, because naturally there's limited parking there. But with your plan there, that should work quite.
Yeah, we've been discussing this before with the city.
Yeah.
Now we resurrected.
I figured
We'll get
you'd
it
work
done.
out something.
Any other questions or comments?
So this is a hugely important project. I think everybody here in the room and throughout Niagara Falls understands that. I'm gonna vote for this because it represents potential for our community. But we need action. We need you guys to deliver on it. This is hugely important. Mr. Ross talked about the Jefferson. I live right in that building right now. And I see that property every day. And I see the potential. We don't need promises. We need action. Are you with us?
Absolutely. And again, we've jumped into this. We're right now moving very, very quickly to get everything reassembled. We'd like to be in there this fall and get a new roof on the building to establish some of the masonry restoration and window restoration on the outside of it. And then move right into the spring, once we get the building tightened up, go right in and do the interior restorations. I mean, we are a little bit in a good place here. In the fact that previous developers had done a lot of the cleanup work in the building and also demolition work in the building. So that's been done, and that's a big issue. For instance, in Syracuse, and I hate to go back to that, but I've done a lot of historic hotels. But Syracuse, being close here, there was over $15.5 million in cleanup work in that hotel before we could touch one thing. We don't have that here, so we'll be able to go a lot quicker. The entire stall of this was, number one, the pandemic, the loss of our capital staff, which was in place before the pandemic, and we were going through due diligence and reassembling that and getting it back together. We've been creative in getting a CPACE loan on it with energy, which we didn't have back, before the pandemic. That's going to help us tremendously, is get us going. And we have a secondary conventional loan, construction loan, and mini permit that we've got in place. So those two things, and if you're in my business right now in hotels, they are extremely difficult to get. I mean, a lot of places when I call up and say I'm interested in, getting financing on a hotel, they just tell me we're not even looking at applications. We don't care how good or bad it is. We're very fortunate we have that. We have executed term sheets. We have most of our approvals. Probably the single biggest approval that on a building like this you've got to have is your review by SHPO in the Interior Department, which is in place and done. So we know what we can do and we can't do. And that was a very successful filing. And we got a lot of very good things. Very honestly, based on a track record of the development team and of the professional consultants team that are doing it. So we want to get going. I've been sitting on this project now for quite a few years. I want it off my plate. I'm no spring chicken either. I'd like to see it open and have a great party. And I'd love to reopen it. To be honest with you, on its centennial. Hotel Syracuse was opened in 1924. We're having a celebration this year. For that, it would be great to have a celebration, for this facility somewhere close to its centennial.
Do you have title to the property right now?
Pardon me?
Do you have title to the property right now?
Title of the property, we have a development agreement and a purchase sale agreement with USA Niagara ESD, which outlines specifically the type of hotel, the improvements, the timelines, et cetera, all that.
Okay, when will you take title prior to?
We have to take title prior to starting any work because we need to be able to work counted in as QREs for the historic tax credits. A big part of this is going to be the historic tax credit investor and their money coming in. That's what really makes these things work.
Jason, we can't close outside of this and our documents and enter into any agreement with them until they're
Until they want to.
Any other questions? Comments? Thank you. I'm looking forward to this project as well. And where can you go on a board to get history lessons as well? You know, I mean. All right. The preliminary resolution, I need a motion for that. All in favor?
Aye.
And I need a roll call.
William Ross,
Aye.
Jason Krempa.
Yeah.
Clifford Scott,
Yes.
Mark Ruby,
Yes.
Ryan Mahoney,
Yes.
Anne McCaffrey,
Yes.
David Massey,
Yes.
and Mark Honesi.
Yes. Okay, for the public hearing, it's June 25th at 2:15 here at Niagara Falls City Hall, and I need a motion for that. Mr. Ruby, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Let's see, 8.3, NCDC request for grant approval. Ms. Rowe.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The agency held an NCDC grant committee meeting on June 4th. At that time, each one of these projects was reviewed by the committee to recommend approval to the board. 8.3.1, You Gotta Have It LLC is a recently established startup business that is a food truck offering fresh Mediterranean food. The food truck will participate in local festivals and farmers markets, as well as offering on-site lunch service to various business destinations around the county. The owner qualifies as low to moderate income and will be hiring some part-time help during a busy season. They're requesting $21,000 micro enterprise grant. This grant request was unanimously approved by the committee for recommendation to the board.
Thank you. Any questions on You Gotta Have It? All right, well, I gotta have a motion.
I will move.
Mr. Ross, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Meeting.
William Ross,
Yes.
Jason Krempa,
Yes.
Clifford Scott,
Yes.
Mark Ruby,
Yes.
Ryan Mahoney,
Yes.
Anne McCaffrey,
Yes.
David Massey,
Yes.
Mark Honesi.
Yes. Let's see, 8.3.2.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. 8.3.2, Jeffrey Barker, doing business as Barker Outdoors, is an outdoor sporting goods store specializing in unique thermal and night optics for hunting enthusiasts. They've been in business 4 years with a web store and a retail location in Youngstown. Recently, the business has expanded to be an approved supplier on Amazon and other retail websites. With this expansion, they're in need of increased inventory to provide more in-stock items for the supply chain. As additional benefit to the business and the county, their specialty parts supplies are solely manufactured in a local Niagara County machine shop. The owner qualifies as low to moderate income. The business has requested a $20,000 micro enterprise grant. This grant was unanimously approved by the committee for recommendation to the board.
Okay, thank you. Any questions, issues? I need a motion. Mr. Krempa. Second, Ms. Massey. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. I need a roll call vote.
William Ross,
Yes.
Jason Krempa,
Yep.
Clifford Scott,
Yes.
Mark Ruby,
Yes.
Ryan Mahoney,
Yes.
Anne McCaffrey,
Yes.
David Massey,
Yes.
Mark Honesi.
Yes. Thank you. 8.4, executive director. Okay.
Yes, at this time, Mr. Chairman, I ask that the board go into executive session to discuss personnel matters,
Okay.
a personnel matter. We do anticipate an action to come out afterwards. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
I need a motion to go into executive. Mr. Krempa, Mr. Ruby, all in favor?
Aye.